Say hi. Please be seated. Good afternoon and welcome to the graduate program's graduation recognition ceremony for the class of 2026. I'm Mike Mazzio, the Judy and Jerry Kent Dean of the Olin Business School. It is an honor to be with you for this celebration. I'd like to start out by asking the graduates to acknowledge all the family and friends who have joined us today, both in person and on live stream. Please join me in recognizing them for the support that they've given you on the way to this great day. And what a momentous few years it has been. Not just for the members of the class of 2026. When you all began your Olin journey, the world looked very different. Just in that brief time, technology has been reshaping how we work, how we make decisions, how we lead. We're living through a period of rapid, unprecedented innovation. And while we've all heard the gloom and doom predictions about where we're heading, I, for one, am excited about this moment and what it means for the world of business, and what it can mean for newly minted graduates of the Olin Business School. Among the many lessons you take away from your experiences here, I hope it is reinforced that disruption can be exciting and inspiring. A reminder that we're not constrained by an outdated view of how the world has always been. That it can be something completely new, something that we can help to shape. At its heart, that is what your time here has been about. You've built new core professional and leadership skills and engaged with new ideas. You've been preparing for what comes next, even while what's next keeps changing. Now your degrees and the experiences that have come with them will be the engine that propels you forward. But beyond that excellent preparation, I personally believe there are a few factors that help us to adapt and succeed in uncertain times like these. The first is curiosity. The skills required for success are always in flux. We constantly need to be learning and asking questions, not just to keep up, but to foresee and guide productive change in our own lives and in our organizations. That's easy when you genuinely love learning new things. Cultivate that curiosity in your work and in your life. You'll be more successful and, I believe, happier. Look for the thing that you don't understand and figure it out. Look for the thing you never saw yourself doing and give yourself the space and the opportunity to master it. But don't do it alone. Because the most impactful leaders combine their curiosity with a deep sense of connection. The relationships that you've built during your time here across industries and functions and perspectives, they're not just a feature of the Olin experience, they're one of its most enduring advantages. As you take your next career steps, I hope you will allow the connections you've built here to keep expanding. And I hope you keep Olin at the heart of it. Right now, somewhere in the Olin network, there's an alum in their Wall Street career testing early new ideas. Another is somewhere in Silicon Valley lending their expertise and insights to help shape a fast-growing startup. Yet another is sitting in a corner office in St. Louis leading an organization through exactly the type of uncertainty we're discussing today. Now, multiply that by 28,000 Olin alumni, and you'll get the idea of the incredible impact we can make as a community. One of the most fascinating things I realized when I became dean here 3 years ago was the unbreakable connection that so many Olin alumni feel to this institution and to our education and research mission. That plays out every day in the personal mentorship our alumni provide, the internships they offer in consulting projects carried out for companies by our Center for Experiential Learning, and in the impactful leaders who come back to campus to inspire a new generation of students. We want you to be part of that. We need your curiosity and your continued connection to help power Olin forward in the years ahead. Don't let this be the last time you see your classmates or hear from you, nor the last time you set foot on campus. The thriving culture you have experienced at Olin only exists because alumni bring it to life. Our faculty and staff who have stood with you throughout your studies can't wait to see what you'll accomplish next. Can you please join me in thanking them for their support? Will all the faculty and staff members here today please stand to be recognized? And now we come to today's keynote speaker, who is an ideal example of that curiosity and connection in action. Today, Zoe Hillenmeyer is the Chief Operating Officer for the AI security company Ricoh. She has more than a decade of experience in artificial intelligence at startups like Ricoh and Protect AI, as well as tech giants like AWS and IBM. It might surprise you to know that Zoe was trained formally in the fine arts as a sculptor at WashU as an undergraduate. In 2013, she earned her Olin MBA, specializing in strategy. Her diverse educational experiences have informed her approach to AI, combining a human-centered outlook with business impact and strategy. Zoe's support of Olin over the years has been incredibly impactful. While she was earning her MBA, she helped reinvigorate and rebrand the Olin Women in Business organization, working with the OWIB and the Olin admissions team to improve our recruitment of women into the MBA program. In 2023, she was named one of Olin's Emerging Leaders, an award that recognizes alumni who exemplify leadership, innovative thinking, and vision. When I first met Zoe, I was so impressed with how she was able to channel her curiosity into such an amazing career. And now I'm personally grateful to have her support and guidance as a member of the Olin National Council, where she brings those talents to bear as we chart Olin's course for the years ahead. Please welcome Zoe Hillenmeyer.
All the way down here. Thank you. There are two versions of this speech, the one that I wrote and the one that Claude wrote. Let me tell you about the differences. Claude's is punchy, cadenced, tight. It's effective and has just the right rhythm to keep and get your attention for 8 to 10 minutes. Mine is, well, human. A few too many commas, maybe a diversion or two, run-on sentences that could be chopped in half if only I had the heart to chop them. Claude's was written in less than a minute. Mine was written over the course of 3 months, starting from the minute I got the email from the dean which I read bleary-eyed at 3 a.m. with a newborn in my arms. As I started thinking of what I might say, my mind also started to surface questions like, how do I get there with a baby? Do I just bring the entire family? I just brought the baby. She's in the back. Those thoughts overlapped with feeling humbled, honored, surprised, and excited to be asked by Mike to come join you. This speech was written between toddler baths, winding drives up the Columbia River, calls about the latest cybersecurity attacks on artificial intelligence, sitting on my deck with the sun in my face, attending a funeral, and while eating Oreos looking outside my window. It's the one I've chosen to keep and share with you, not Claude's punchier, tighter, better version. It's not because I'm anti-AI, as Dean Mazzio said. I call him Mike, sorry. I've spent my career building AI technologies. The first 10 years, I focused on how to make the promise of AI a reality. Much a surprise to me that I worked on this as anyone. How to translate the science that was happening in computer labs useful, usable, actually work to do anything. But the last 3 years, that focus has changed to ensuring that the AI, which is now used everywhere, is safe and secure, prepared for the wave of cyber attacks that increasingly target it. I've built a lot of AI. At this point, over 30 products and technologies that have come to market, and I've had a front seat to how it's changing the world. Every major technological wave has changed the shape of our culture, communities, and economies. The Industrial Revolution removed the need for humans from physical labor to produce goods, drastically altering the economy, but also how we as humans see ourselves and our relationship to items, material, and the land. The information era removed the physical barriers between humans and information, accelerating the speed and ease with which anyone can learn, share, and teach anything. No longer do you need a bookshelf of encyclopedias. You can access information about anything from any country or culture at the tips of your fingers. The artificial intelligence era, as the name implies, is removing the need for humans to think. You can outsource your writing, planning, thinking, and if you're not careful, your leadership too. As I was reflecting on my time at Olin, I kept coming back to the very beginning. Before the beginning, actually. 2 weeks before I started the program. It was 2011 in Philadelphia. I was sleeping on the floor of my studio apartment. My dad was there to help me pack everything up into a truck and haul it all to St. Louis. I was laying there in the dark, super freaked out. Was I making a huge mistake? Would I fail? Was I cut out for it? I was a sculpture major who had spent a year in fine art auctions. What was I thinking? I felt uneasy, underqualified, scared. I didn't know what was ahead. About a year after I finished at Olin in 2015, I had the same set of feelings. I'd been asked to step in and work on a project about the future of AI and how it would impact various industries around the world. What was around the corner? How would I do? Was I qualified? My now wife and I took a trip to the Oregon coast that weekend. As we were walking out to the water, I turned to her and said, "This is one of those things. I think this tech is going to change the world. And if I say yes, I think it changes everything that comes next for me too." 7 years later, it's 2022, and my wife turned to me and, much to my surprise, said, "I want to have kids." What? That was not our plan. I had the same feeling, a turn in my stomach, my brain racing around the perimeter. Can I do this? What will it be like? Nervous, scared. Back in February, shortly after I got the email from Dean Mazzio about giving this speech, I hauled my now family of 4 out to the mountains in a failed attempt for my 2-year-old to see some snow. We drove along the Columbia River, where Lewis and Clark traveled once they made it all the way from here, St. Louis, to my home state, Washington. I thought about how strange and brave it must have been to pioneer like that. No advance info, no Google Maps telling you your ETA, no Yelp reviews of the local restaurants, just raw exploration, not knowing what is next, what is around the corner, or how long it will take to get to a destination you don't even really know exists. Surely they got used to it, got used to the unknowing. As I look back at the inflection points in my life, the ones that changed everything and made my life and career worth having, they all have this in common: an unknowing, saying yes anyway, finding the courage to do something without knowing how to do it, how it'll turn out, or if I even could, figuring it out, a curiosity to explore, try, and fail. To wrap up this speech, I actually decided to let you hear the one that Claude and I wrote together. Her version of my ending is, in fact, better. And I think it's kind of nice to hear it from her, or I guess us. Here we go. Here's what I think the AI era demands of leaders. Not better prompts, not faster adoption, not comfort with the technology, although all of that does matter. What it demands is the courage to do things AI cannot, to hold dirt in your hands, to let the sun warm your face, to take on a challenge you don't know how to solve and figure it out in real time, to feel things, the fear, excitement, nerves, and let those feelings inform your judgment. AI can write this speech. It wrote a better one, technically. It cannot tell you which speech to give. It can model the future of your industry. It cannot tell you which future is worth building. It can optimize for what has been done. It cannot pioneer. If we hand AI our thinking, we had better be exceptional at deciding what to think about, what businesses need to exist, what problems are worth solving, what kind of world we are building toward. That requires something no model can be trained to have: humanity, the full weight of it, fear, love, hope, a turn in the stomach before something that matters. The world doesn't need leaders who can use AI. It needs leaders who know what AI is for. I kept this speech, the messy one, the human one, because what I most wanted to say to you could not be optimized. It had to be lived first. You are going to graduate into the most technologically powerful era in human history. The tools available to you are extraordinary. Your job is to remain more extraordinary than they are, not by resisting them, by being irreplaceably human beside them. Have the courage to not know, the curiosity to explore anyway, the willingness to pioneer without a map, without reviews, without knowing your ETA, with the full opportunity to fail. Claude and I agree. That is what we need from you. So go on, pioneer, and have some fun while you figure it out on the way. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoe. I'd like to present you with a gift of our appreciation for your remarks today. And now I am happy to introduce the student who was chosen by his peers to speak today for the class of 2026. Sam Stewart is receiving... is receiving his full-time MBA today after completing his studies in December. Sam is a native of Spokane, Washington, and earned his BSBA with a specialization in finance at Central Washington University in 2017. Sam said that as a transplanted St. Louisan who intends to make his home here, there was no clearer choice for an MBA than WashU Olin, thanks to its world-class reputation and the leaders whom it has produced. Now he's on a path to become one of those leaders. In January, Sam began working as a strategy consultant at Accenture. Please join me in welcoming STEM steward to the lectern to share his insights and to announce our first Read Teaching Awards.
Dean Mazio, faculty, staff, proud families, and friends, thank you for being here. To those who traveled near and far to celebrate with us today, your presence means more than you know. When my classmates selected me to speak today, I knew it could only be because of my top-tier dancing skills, or in full display in Barcelona. Just know that I'm only willing to break it down like that when I'm around great friends like you all. Before I applied to WashU, my wife and I began the process to adopt our first son, Jaden. While we discussed what life might have in store for him, I could picture him as a young man who'd work hard to earn his admission to a top school, achieve great levels of success in his career, and leave a positive impact on the world. I saw it as my duty as a soon-to-be father to sacrifice my own ambition to give him all that I could. But I soon saw the flaw in this mindset. How could I look my son in the eye and tell him to shoot for the stars when I myself wasn't dreaming big? I needed to show him, not tell him, what it means to take risks and bet on yourself. This was the driving force for me to apply to WashU. The storied history of this university was imposing, and it felt like a Hail Mary to apply. But I'm forever thankful for taking that chance. Education is a privilege, and I'm so very glad that I had the opportunity to embrace this program with all that I had and meet the thoroughly impressive group of colleagues you see before you here today. Over the past 2 years, I've watched this class do extraordinary things. I've seen classmates compete at the highest levels, chase and build once-in-a-lifetime business ideas, and pursue new career paths that required all that they had. This class wasn't afraid to back down from uncomfortable conversations and approach the uncertainty of our world today head-on. Our willingness to pay it forward was also clear. We found others to mutually support us in our own class, the class of first years behind us, and students across WashU. Finding a way to help others when there might not be something in it for you is what true leaders do. And I was most proud when seeing our group embrace this attribute of selflessness. We saw that same spirit in the people who supported us along the way. Starting every Monday morning, I was greeted by Bernard, one of our custodians in Knight and Bower Hall. He always wanted to hear what I was working on and encouraged me to make the most of this opportunity I had right in front of me. His consistent positivity was infectious, and his work ethic was something to aspire to. He did work most people don't notice, and he did it like it mattered because it did. Bernard is the type of man I want both of my sons to be one day. Relationships like that one, I was fortunate enough to build, and so many of our class were able to build on campus for similar impact. The people of Olin often saw more in us than we saw in ourselves. So, on behalf of my fellow graduates, thank you. You are the reason Olin's reputation means something, and you are the reason we leave here ready. And while Olin gave us mentors, our families gave us something else entirely, the room to be here at all. For many of us, we put all that we had into this experience for the benefit of the ones we love most. The desire to make a better life for them kept us rooted in knowing all the hard work was worth it. Quiet sacrifice from loved ones exists across this class, and it's something we don't say thank you for nearly enough. So, thank you. And to my classmates, I want to leave you with this. We are entering a world where everyone is facing new levels of uncertainty. AI, ever-evolving market conditions, and political tensions across the globe are challenging everything in our lives, both personally and professionally. But we have the ultimate opportunity right now to shape the path forward. Each of us has people who are watching how we move through this. Some of them are sitting in this room. Some of them are too young to understand yet. They're going to learn what's possible by watching us reach for it. And they're going to learn what character looks like by watching us live it. So don't shy away from thinking bigger, pushing for what is right, and staying true to what you've learned here. Congratulations, class of 2026. Now, I have the distinct honor of presenting our Reed Teaching Awards. Our first award goes to a professor that was demanding in the best possible way, holding us to standards we didn't yet know we could meet. What made him exceptional was his genuine commitment to shaping us into executive-level leaders, giving us the space to wrestle with the kinds of problems we all aspire to face one day. He set the bar high and then trusted us to rise to it. On behalf of the class of 2026, it is my honor to present the first Reed Teaching Award to Professor Sam Chun. Professor Chun is unable to be with us today, so Dean Mazio will accept the award on his behalf.
Do the picture anyway, so you can be in it. I know where his office is.
Our second award goes to a professor that brought energy and an unwavering belief in his students' potential into every lecture. He didn't just teach us fundamentals, he taught us how to think creatively and how to push our own ideas further. He represents the best of what a professor of practice can offer to an MBA program. Even though he hated on my Costco dad shoes, he was one of the best professors I've ever had. On behalf of the class of 2026, it is my honor to present the second Reed Teaching Award to Professor Michael Wall. I now invite Ismar Sahovic to the stage to announce the Reed Teaching Award for the Professional MBA program.
All right, tough act to follow. Great job, Sam. So, my name is Ismar Shehovic. I'm honored to be part of PMBA Cohort 54, the best and final cohort. So I'm here to present the Reed Teaching Award to a professor whose hands-on approach to teaching truly exemplifies the values-driven and data-backed leadership that Olin strives to develop. Her ability to merge behavioral concepts with hard data and research led to a unique and impactful learning experience that I'll never forget. So it's my honor to present the Reed Teaching Award to Professor Alyssa Liang. Professor Liang was unable to attend, and Dean Mazio will accept the award on her behalf. That's it. No? All right. Okay. All right. Appreciate it. I now invite George Steenkolk to the stage to announce the Reed Teaching Award for the online MBA program.
Hello, my name is George Steenkolk, and I have the distinct privilege to present this year's Reed Teaching Award on behalf of the final online MBA class. All of us first experienced this professor in strategy, and then many of us chose to take another course of his because one simply wasn't enough. What set his classes apart was his thoughtful and deliberate design to take advantage of the digital format. From class Spotify playlists to the live polls and cold calling spinners, he created an experience that felt dynamic, engaging, and purpose-built for online learning. In fact, his classes were so engaging that I once had to ask my wife for permission to attend one from the hospital room after the birth of our second child. So a quick shout out to my wife for her patience and support of my enthusiasm for learning. Both then and throughout the online MBA program. For the impact this professor has had on how we think, how we make decisions, and most importantly, how we lead, it is my honor to introduce this year's OMBA Reed Teaching Award recipient, Professor Seth Carnahan. I now invite Joseph Hipskin to the stage to announce the Reed Teaching Award for the Master of Science in Finance program.
Every year, Olin's Master of Finance program presents the Reed Teaching Award to the professor whose exceptional teaching most inspires, energizes, and transforms our classroom experience. This year's winner, Professor Corey Saili, embodies exactly that and much more. I personally was lucky enough to have multiple classes with Professor Saili, where I developed a stronger interest in the subjects at hand than I ever would have anticipated. More importantly, however, I learned a great deal about implementing the values that Olin espouses in my life by observing his passion, enthusiasm, and willingness to go above and beyond to ensure his students' success. Please join me in a round of applause as we welcome Professor Saili to accept this award. Congratulations, Professor. Very well deserved. I'd now like to invite Sarah Holterman to the stage for the hooding of our PhD candidates.
Thank you to Sam for your remarks, and thank you as well to Sam, Ismar, George, and Joseph for presenting this year's Reed Teaching Awards. I'm Sarah Holterman, Assistant Dean and Director of Doctoral Programs. We're now at the moment you've been waiting for, the presentation of candidates. I would like to invite Dean Mazzio to join me in presenting the doctoral candidates today. The complete dissertation titles are listed in the digital program and on the screens as well. Okay, yes. Today we have 12 candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Business Administration. Our first candidate is João Gimes. Joao's dissertation is titled The Economics of Technical Debt, Venture Capital, Cybersecurity, and Engineering Quality. Joao will be hooded by Professor Todd Gormley. Xiaowen Guo. Xiaowen's dissertation is titled Integrating New Technologies in Platform Service Operations. Xiaowen will be hooded by Professor Jiang Hui. Emily Xu. Emily's dissertation is titled Up, Down, and All Around, Emotional Whiplash and Its Effects on Interpersonal Trust and Relationships at Work. Emily will be hooded by Professor Andrew Knight. Haibin Kim. Haibin's dissertation is titled The Psychology of Sharing Experiences. Hyben will be hooded by Professor Nora Williams. Yunyi Lung. Yunyi's dissertation is titled Consumer Evaluations of Corporate Generosity. Yunyi will be hooded by Professor Cindy Kreider. Yangzhao Lin. Yangzhao's dissertation is titled Corporate Disclosure Under Governmental and Legal Forces. Yangzhao is hooded by Professor Zachary Kaplan. Ibra Sal. Ibra's dissertation is titled Unintended Welfare Implications of Mandated ESG Disclosure and Ethical Certification. Ibra is also hooded by Professor Zachary Kaplan. Tatiana Vodovina Grossman. Tatiana's dissertation is titled Essays in Household and International Finance. Tatiana will be hooded by Professor Hong Liu. Jimmy Wu. Jimmy's dissertation is titled Essays in Human and Machine Biases in Financial Markets. Jimmy is hooded by Professor Brett Green. Hyun Jung Yoon. Hyun's dissertation is titled Narrating Power: How Organizations Can Shape Power Holders' Perceptions and Behaviors Through Promotion Narratives. Hyun is hooded by Professor Eric Dane. Juchi Zhang. Juchi's dissertation is titled Data-Driven Decision-Making in Digital Platforms. Juchi will be hooded by Professor Dennis Zhang. And finally, I'd like to recognize Sungron Hee, one of our doctoral candidates who is unable to join us today. His dissertation is titled Essays in Empirical Asset Pricing. Please join me in congratulating all of our PhD recipients today. I now invite Beth Sims, Assistant Dean of Academic Advising Strategy, to the lectern for the presentation of master's degree candidates. Thank you.
Before I present our candidates, I would like to acknowledge several of our honored groups. I would like to recognize the graduates who have been nominated to join Beta Gamma Sigma, the International Business Honor Society. Honorees, please stand. Congratulations. I would like to ask the Bauer Leadership Fellows to stand. These fellows are a collection of the top student leaders at WashU Olin. Will our Center for Experiential Learning scholars please stand? These graduates have given their time, energy, and leadership to help advance Olin's experiential learning programs. I would also like to recognize the U.S. military veterans who are graduating today. Will the graduating veterans please stand so we may give you a special salute? We're at the moment you've been waiting for. This is a big moment for each of you and your families. We ask our graduates and guests to treat each graduate with respect and remain seated during the entire presentation of candidates. I invite Dean Mazzio to join me in presenting our master's degree candidates today. The first graduate of the class of 2026, I invite to cross the stage today,
Chris Ann Thomas.
Chris Ann is the full-time MBA student marshal. She is also the recipient of the Milford Bohm Prize in Marketing and the Joseph W. Toll Prize. Next, I'd like to recognize Christopher Miller, who unfortunately was unable to join us this afternoon. However, Chris was able to attend this morning's commencement ceremony, where he served as a student marshal for the Professional MBA class of 2026. He has also been awarded the PMBA Professional Achievement Award. Congratulations, Chris. Serving as the student marshal for the Specialized Master's Program is
Hanshu Young.
Hanshu is also the recipient of the Outstanding Corporate Finance Student Award. Next, we have the elected student speaker,
Sam Stewart.
Sam is also receiving the Herbert C. Hub Moog Prize. Congratulations to our student marshals and our student speakers on your achievements. The next several graduates to cross the stage have earned individual awards for our different degree programs.
Spencer Payne.
Spencer has earned the Milford Bohm Prize in Marketing Award.
Sheila Kamusime.
Sheila is a recipient of the Paul Nyland Prize.
Reed Marshall.
Reed is also a recipient of the Paul Nyland Prize.
Sam Donnelly.
Sam has earned the Olin MBA Finance Award.
Bonnie Wall.
Bonnie has earned the Center for Experiential Learning Impact Award.
Bansi D. Shukla.
Bansi is the recipient of the Wells Fargo Advisors Center for Finance and Accounting Research Award.
Jabari Shafee.
Jabari has earned the Paul Cuffey MBA Award for Outstanding Leadership.
Reagan Swadish.
Reagan has earned the Olin MBA Entrepreneurship Award.
Jace K. Jose.
Jace is the recipient of the John Wayne Latcham Memorial Award.
Omotunde Oguntoyin Bo.
Omatunde has earned the Dean's Award for Corporate Social Responsibility. Yes.
Garrick Jain.
Garrick has earned the Dean's Special Service Award.
Margaret MacDade Struby.
Margaret has earned both the Hiram and Mary New Honor Prize and the Peer Recognition Award.
Samuel Stoll.
Samuel has earned the Outstanding Online MBA Student Award.
Trenton Pace Edwards.
Trenton is the recipient of the Nicholas Dopich Outstanding Accounting Student Award. Our next three graduates are all recipients of the Wells Fargo Advisor Center for Finance and Accounting Research Award for Leadership.
Nicholas Merlot. Ryan Roth. Michael Thurk.
And now we'll continue with the presentation of candidates from all of our graduate degree programs.
Ismar Shehovich.
Oh, sorry, George.
George Joseph Steenkalk. Joseph A. Hipskind. David Jackstad. Matthew Rush. Cora Bassett. Abigail Mink. Jessica L. Brooks. Lily J. Steinbach. Gwyneth Lee. Sydney Connor. Minori Ubukata. Amber Clover. Haya Ahmed. Ariana Tabrizi. Isabel Jarris. Sarah S. Myers. Minjia Liu.
Asan Rafiq.
Joshua Figueroa Rodriguez. Maya Denise Holmes.
Michael Asar Bexon.
David Baker. Uchenna Amazu. Makaya Murray. Xiao Yu Wang. Joseph DeCipio.
Absolutely, Tim.
Timothy Chappelle. Nicholas Iovaldi. Will Culleton. Joseph Renner. Zach Dalma. Jack Junker. Ohad Dan.
You made it.
Justdeep Dulé. Lorraine Olympia Mogore. Iheanacho Jerome Obiakor. Sophia Mai. Irene Kiyingi Nakazibwe. Rachel Nsubuga Kutesa. Von Wynn. Israel Tadesse Bata. Aberna Ketheswaran. Akash Ghosh. Sri Sathvik Rao Kalakanda.
Teresa Ibarra Arana.
Andrea L. Hinojosa Nieto. Arun Raju Nandiala. Rajib Sarkar.
Damilola A. Odiemi.
Susan Mutero. Nonyelam Queen Nwokoma. Dorcas Ikojo Abora. Damilola O. Kolo Fajimokun. Refilwe Morongwana. James Njue. Kingsley N. Ekechi. Emmanuel Osei. Aisha O. Oduola. Yesong. Uday Nagaraj. Aram R. Sasunian. Suchin. Onet F. Azarafen. Alice Igisaro. Michael Kudom Ajeman. Kelly Engwa. Fabian M. Gubrekidan. Tumelo Charlene Magabo.
Gridyaran Gopasamy Rahasawe.
Pujitha Panabadi. Adarsh Priyadarshi. Pindile Winile Dlamini. Bima Kunwar.
Benjamin Mitchler.
Mohamed Zaglol. Brendan M. Sheehan.
Ikenna Oti.
Abby Kinzel. Megan Renee Street. Jeff C. Howard.
Aaron Kyle.
Alexander Hibbler. David Ulrich. Joy Nelvenko Kina. Ava Elizabeth Davis York. Lei Tang. Gail Boker. Charmaine Wilson.
Charlene Kim.
Raghunath Venkatapathy.
Rakesh Patel.
Brian Cleaver.
Connor Reynolds. Eli Jackson. Joshua Thuman.
Christina Shannon. Natalie Heath. Milena V. Nutrobkina. Mackenzie Foster. Madeline Rose Stowe.
Sila Mwandu Hall. Denisha Janae White.
Jennifer M. Wesley. Xiaofu Du. Li King Yang. Sirong Lin. Tim W. Denty. Veronica Garrido. Victor Oluwagbemiga Oyadiji. Mduduzi Prince Moyo. Eric Magazu. Billy Sandoval. Erica Johnson. Ashley R. Robe. Adam Kane.
Andrew Stangler. Jeff Hoji.
Cameron Smith. Yuhao Chen.
No, hold on.
Lauren Crawford. Ching Chung Lee. Nikhil Nambiar. Logan Conroy. Ridiman Mehra. Avery Shellman. Lucas Harris. Connor Hanslick. Xiaonan Li. Sebastian Alamo Celis. Jeremiah Gooden. Zue Sun. Shui Hong Guo. Melissa Village. Suna Shi. Monan Jiang. Isaac Akini. Cheng Chen Sui. Yumeng Zhang. Rachel Huang. Ryuichi Tashima.
Matthew Connell.
Hongjie Yang. Dongyu Liu.
Let's hear it one more time for all of the graduates in the class of 2026. I am honored and thrilled to be the first to extend best wishes for your success as our newest Olin alumni. Each one of you is a vital part of that Olin network that I mentioned earlier. I urge you to strengthen those bonds, remain engaged with your teachers, your peers, and the Olin students who come after you. A lifelong relationship awaits you. Welcome to the alumni family of Washington University and the Olin Business School. This concludes our ceremony. Please remain seated until the stage participants have led the recitational out of the field house. And again, congratulations to all.